everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we're going to talk about Exit 8. Not the game, even though we are totally going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the film. This 95-minute psychological horror movie premiered at Cannes Film Festival, and it got a standing ovation. Guys, this is a big deal for a movie that's literally based on a video game that has no stories, 2 NPCs, 1 character, and can be speedrun in less than 5 minutes. The premise of the game is literally that you walk down a hallway and look for things that are wrong. If things are wrong, you turn around. If things are okay, you keep going. You have to do this 8 times, and you'll be free. And Genki Kawamura, the mastermind behind this movie, took this premise and turned it into something that literally everyone couldn't stop thinking about. Even the critics who walked into the movie hoping to dismiss it for being boring or silly walked out complimenting the movie as one of the most precise horror films in years. That being said, if you're ready, let's get into answering all the questions that might have cropped up in your head after watching this movie. And for those who haven't yet, spoiler warning, don't tell us we didn't warn you. 2023, the game where the journey begins. The story of Exit 8 starts all the way back in November 2023, 2 years before the movie came out, in this one-person development studio called Kotake Create. They released a horror walking simulator on Steam at this time. It can be completed in 5 minutes if you do it right. You have 1 corridor that loops over time, and there's 1 recurring human figure, the Walking Man, who, as the name suggests, keeps walking next to you. But every now and then, he would be subtly different, and there will be other subtle changes around you too, be it blood from the ceiling, changes in small instructions on a poster, anything. No matter how small it is, you have to catch it and make the right call. Pretty simple, right? And this simplicity is what consumed the internet back when the game came out. Every player had unique experiences, and when players would live stream, every viewer would have a different experience. Everyone is scanning the same corridor at the same time, holding their breath and trying to remember if the details are exactly the way they should be. So, it was almost like even the viewers were playing the game without actually playing it. And then, in 2024, Exit 8 launched on PS4 and PS5. And, as you can guess, it surpassed the 1 million downloads on Steam and the Nintendo Switch. And Kawamura, the director, was one of the early players of this game. And if you watched his interviews, you'll realize he really loved the game. He related the game to real life, stating, "The video game itself is quite simple. If you were to notice an anomaly, you turn back. And if you don't, you carry on." And I think this is something that happens in our daily life, where there are anomalies all around us. And whether we choose to carry on or notice them and turn back is up to us. And because he had thought this out regarding the game, he took it a little further and wondered, what if this place is purgatory? 2025, the movie comes out. So, we fast forward to 2025. Kawamura's film first premiered at the Cannes Film Festival in May 2025, and then it was released theatrically in Japan on August 29th, 2025. In Japan, this low-budget psychological horror movie won over 5 billion yen at the box office and roughly $35 to $40 million worldwide, depending on the reporting window. And that turnaround is insane. He and his writer, Kento Hirase, both made sure to keep all the bones of the game in the movie and use those to build up a story that went on to become this popular. So let's talk about that story. The film opens in a Tokyo subway train. We have our protagonist introduced to us through a first-person perspective. He's standing by the door, earbuds in, and minding his own business. It's a packed subway car, and there's a mother with a baby. The baby, like every baby ever, is crying, and the mom is unable to calm this baby down. A man standing in front of the mom starts berating her, which obviously makes the baby cry even more. Our main dude doesn't do anything about it. Instead, he watches, listens, and then puts his earbud in to mind his own business. This inaction is very important. The camera lingers on the moment, and you can tell that this is not how it's supposed to be. Then he gets out of the train and gets a call from his girlfriend. I don't quite know what their relationship is because she literally says that they're not seeing each other anymore, but she's pregnant and she needs him to make a decision. Our main dude is a little rattled and hella evasive. His asthma attack comes really conveniently and the call drops with no network signal showing on his phone. Awesome. He steps into the turnstile and now he's heading towards exit 8. A word shows up on the screen, test, and then it fades into another word, the lost man. And we finally see our main character face to face, an ordinary man with no name who looks genuinely lost. Now, before I move on with the plot, I have to give a moment of appreciation to Kawamura and the production team. So, Kawamura built the entire production just like you would build a video game level. So, according to their interview, the crew constructed 2 identical corridors and placed them back to back. That allowed cinematographer Keisuke Imamura to shoot the Lost Man walking from one loop into the next one in unbroken, continuous takes. They even nicknamed the corridors Hitchcock and Kubrick. There are basically 16 different scenes, so a lot of the crew were very doubtful about whether the movie would even turn out to be good. And Kawamura confirmed in his interview with The Wrap that he didn't know himself if it would come out as blazing as it did. But he knew that he wanted to make everyone feel something that's like the mix of Twitch stream, divine comedy, and the uncanny valley of generative AI. He directed The Walking Man, the lovely Yamato Kochi, to move as if he were animated in CG. That horrifying smile Kochi does in the movie, he's able to do it because Kawamura told Kochi to make the smile look like it was generated by an algorithm. And the uncanniness you feel in every scene comes from every member of the set trying to push every detail to the most uncomfortable level so the audience is always on edge. And it worked, because I couldn't trust my eyes when I was watching this movie. When I tell you I rewound the movie at least 10 times, I mean it. The rules of the Anomalies. So, when the Lost Man goes through the first few loops, things are very simple. You have doorknobs looking a little weird, and blood dripping from the ceiling. And of course, Yamato Kochi, following the Lost Man, smiling with nothing behind his eyes. So, the Lost Man starts photographing everything obsessively. And we too start scanning all the detail. Every time our boy is about to make a decision, I'm also making a decision in my head, Then, round 6 happens. His phone rings. It's his ex-girlfriend's girlfriend. I don't know what they are, man. He talks to her, and he tells her that he's worried he wouldn't be a good father because he didn't stand up for that mother on the train. And as he speaks with her, he takes the turn, and we, along with him, realize that the phone call was an anomaly, and he's back in exit 0. And that's the moment that we realize it's no longer just about the details around the Lost Man. He himself can become an anomaly. His intentions matter. And this is where the story that Kawamura is trying to tell starts to become obvious. Exit 8 is about attention. Attention in itself is a moral act. Without it, you won't move forward, neither in-game or in real life. Just like the corridor number won't go up if you keep walking. You won't become a better person if you keep living your life. You have to have hills worth dying on, and you have to have faith in yourself that you're making the right calls as you go about doing it. If you're wrong, you have to live with the consequence. What's the deal with the boy? We were all thinking that when we saw the kid in the ladder loop. This child shows up in the middle of the corridor. And of course, when the Lost Man sees the boy, he thinks the boy is an anomaly. But it turns out he isn't. In the beginning, we find out that the Walking Man, who's like an NPC in the Lost Man's runs, was actually a normal person trapped in Exit 8, like our main man. And the boy was walking with the Walking Man. However, the Walking Man wouldn't really pay attention to what the boy was trying to say or point out. The man had the emotional regulation of a toddler and crashed out several times in front of the young boy. So obviously, the boy didn't speak with the Walking Man, but he tried to help the Walking Man, but the adult couldn't care. Now, on one of their loops, the Walking Man and the boy come across a high school girl. She's the NPC for the Walking Man's loop, but this time, she stops. And she even speaks with him. And at one point, she asks the Walking Man why he even wants to get out when outside is hell. And that was the point when I rewound back to the Walking Man's title card, because his title card, it was first hell, and then it was the Walking Man. When I tell you I was looking at the TV like that DiCaprio meme, I mean it. Kawamura is just so good. Ugh. Anyway, so after getting freaked out by the girl, the Walking Man and the boy took a turn, and there were Exit 8 stairs going outside in front of him. The Walking Man tried to drag the boy with them, but the boy refused. So the guy kind of lets go of the boy, resulting in the boy falling on his face and hurting himself. With no apologies, our Walking Man walks out of the stairs while the boy turns around and walks back, because those stairs were an anomaly. And the next time we see the Walking Man, he's now the NPC that the Lost Man has been seeing. The Lost Man meets the boy and they start walking together. Even though the Lost Man thinks he would be a horrible dad, he's far nicer to the boy than the Walking Man. And we find out that the young boy intentionally walked away from his mom, hoping that his mom would look for him. And that's how he ended up trapped in Exit 8. Again, the motif about attention comes back. The boy wants attention from his mother. And in a way, the Lost Man sees something in the boy. So they end up becoming a team. They work together and check each other's work. He doesn't pull the child with him. Instead, he checks and rechecks, and the counter goes up. Then we get a catastrophic flood. The boy falls, and instead of running away, the Lost Man tries to help the boy. He hangs the boy up on the little banner showing the direction, with no care for his own safety. As he kinda drowns, he thinks about the future with his kinda girlfriend if they have a baby. When the Lost Man wakes up, he's in Exit 7. He sees no anomalies, and he reaches Exit 8 and walks out. And so does the boy. What does the ending mean? The Lost Man shows back up in the real world, buys a bottle of water, and drains the whole thing. Then he calls his definite girlfriend to say that he's on his way, and you can hear the conviction in his voice. He boards the train, and the film does its thing. The same mother is there. The baby is crying, and the man starts berating her, beat for beat. But this time, instead of ignoring the tirade, our man puts down his earbuds, tears up, and turns towards them. The movie ends before we see exactly what he says or does, but that's enough. That one turn is bigger. That is Exit 8. So here's the thing. The boy is a real boy, but also a projection of the child he would have with his girlfriend. And when the flood happens and the Lost Man lifts up the boy to keep him safe, that's the choice that the man needed to make. He's finally picking a side instead of being scared or evasive. Now that's how I see it. But if you look a little into the religious symbolism of the movie, a few new things come up. The number 8 is clearly very important in the movie. And the number 8 is also very important within Buddhism. It refers to the Eightfold Path. Right views, intentions, speech, action, livelihood, effort, mindfulness, and concentration help people escape the cycle of samsara and attain nirvana. The tagline of the movie, Enter the Loop, with the double O's being an infinity symbol, is intentional because it blurs a line between a countdown and an eternal cycle. If you're into Buddhism, you'll know that in Buddhism, their hell, Naraka, is all about learning and correcting your mistakes. And according to fans, that's what Kawamura is trying to say with all the religious nods. If you learn, you move up. And if you do not learn and fall into it, you become an NPC and become an anomaly. He has to keep walking the corridor over and over again, stuck in hell. Now, Kawamura hasn't confirmed this theory himself, but if you ask me, I think it was definitely an inspiration. Personally, I believe maybe the corridor is an entity in and of itself, because it felt like it just absorbed the Walking Man into its being and replaced the high school girl with him, you know? And I'm pretty sure the high school girl had also replaced someone else before her. So there's an eternal cycle happening there too. Although you do feel like a presence throughout the movie, you know that there really isn't a monster, unless you consider the Walking Man following you and smiling at you. The main thing that makes Exit 8 so scary is the paranoia of missing something important. The feeling lingers, and the film manages to capture the feeling of the game effortlessly. And then the film gives us an answer to why we're even there, stuck in the corridor. So, there we have it, guys. Let us know in the comments which part of the movie you liked the most. Personally, I loved the reveal that the Walking Man was following the Lost Man while smiling. It was so eerie. Again, all hail Yamato Kochi. Also, let us know if you guys want us to make a video on the game's Exit 8 and its sequel, Platforming. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell icon, and share our videos. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye!